What's going on, guys? Ted from Immersion here. I am back at GenCon. We're at the Direwolf Digital booth. I'm here with Matt. Why don't we I know we've seen you a bunch,
Sure.
But let's just let the people know who you are and what you do, in case any of that's changed.
I'm Matt Hudson. I'm the marketing director for Direwolf.
Okay. So you guys have some new products here. Obviously, we're talking, one of the big ones here is Eternal, the card game that exists, the app, it's out there, but now there's a physical version of this. And I asked you some questions before, but let me start with why.
Well, one of the sort of core things for Direwolf is we believe very strongly in exploring the intersection between physical games and digital games. Sometimes that means doing a digital app that integrates into a physical game, like we did with the Renegade Games companion app. Sometimes that means doing digital adaptations of physical games, like we've done for Lanterns and Lotus, now Raiders of the North Sea. And in the case of Eternal Chronicles of the Throne, what that meant was doing a physical card game that explores more of the world of our digital card game, Eternal.
So it's not, again, we cleared this up already, but it is not just a direct port of the game, which would kind of been redundant anyway. So this is an entirely different play style. So why don't we talk a little bit about how the game works and what it is?
Sure. Eternal Chronicles of the Throne is a deck builder. So you start with a basic deck of 10 cards that generate resources, and over the course of the game you acquire new cards from the Forge row that improve your deck capabilities. There's a couple of big twists in Eternal Chronicles from other deck builders that you might have played. The first is that there's a real emphasis on strategic combat. Attacking and blocking inside of a deck builder is pretty unusual.
Right.
In every turn, when you play units, you will present a threat to your opponent. You can either use that unit to block an incoming attack or to make an attack of its own. So you always have this tension between how aggressive do I want to be, as opposed to how defensive-minded do I need to be. The second big twist, I would say, in Eternal Chronicles is the presence of the Eternal Throne. Anyone who's familiar with the digital card game Eternal knows that this looms sort of large in the world of Myria. And in Eternal Chronicles, the Eternal Throne is buried under a pile of Seek Power cards at the start of the game.
Right.
And as Seek Powers are purchased, the throne gets closer to being revealed. Once the last Seek Power is gone and the throne is sitting face up on the table, a whole bunch of other cards gain new abilities.
Oh, very cool.
So what this means over the course of the game is maybe your deck that you've pulled together makes better use of the power of the Eternal Throne than mine does. So maybe you're more incentivized than I am to actually do this thing, where maybe I know that once that happens, you're going to have a huge advantage, so I need to kill you right now before you get there. And it creates a real strategic objective for how you want that to play out and whether or not you want the throne to be active and who can make the best use of it once it is.
So it looks like it is on sale now, $25. Is this just here at GenCon, or how's that work?
It'll be in game stores next month.
Okay,
we do have a pre-release going on, or pre-sale going on right now on our website, direwolfdigital.com. Pre-sale copies will be delivered over the next few weeks before it's in stores. And yeah, we do have a limited number of them available here at GenCon, in conjunction with a couple of release events that we're doing here at the show.
And about how long, I know it's a deck building game, so that can really alter, but in your experience, about how long does a match run?
Usually about 30 minutes for players who have played before, sometimes a little bit longer if it's your first time or you're new to deck builders.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about Eternal before we move on to Raiders of the North Sea?
For Eternal Chronicles, it's a really exciting game. We've got more stuff to come for Eternal Chronicles that we'll be talking about in the future. And it's a great way to get into deck builders or into the world of Eternal if either of those are new to you.
All right. And so I guess we should say, we talked about this back at PAX East, so that was, it was March, right?
It was a while ago.
So now we're here, and where it was just sort of a beta playable, or maybe just have been a video, a trailer, I don't even remember.
At PAX East, it was the first gameplay we had at PAX East. And yeah, Raiders of the North Sea released on Tuesday of this week for iOS and Android phones and tablets, Nintendo Switch, and on PC and Mac on Steam.
Great.
And yeah, the response to it over these first few days has been tremendous. We're very excited and very bullish about it. Anytime we do a digital adaptation of a board game, we're not just looking to do a sort of straight transliteration of game mechanics onto a digital device, but really find ways to bring the game and its world to life. Raiders, the underlying board game, is a fantastic game and has a tremendous and unique art style. The illustrations of Raiders, the character art, is just immediately grabs you and pulls you into the world. And it gave us a ton to work with when it came towards setting the art style and finding an environment of the North Sea to go explore and pillage. So yeah, to see it all come together and finally be live and to be getting such a strong response out of the gate is really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I just from what I've seen here, people have been swarming to everything. All your tables are full for Eternal Chronicles. Everybody's over here playing Raiders of the North Sea. I know. I guess ACK Inc. that's still coming out later this year. The
next
Clank,
month.
Next month.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated will be out in September.
Okay.
It's a new big box Clank product in the world of Acquisitions Incorporated, where you play a 10+ game campaign. And at the end of that, unlike some other legacy games, you actually end up with a fully replayable Clank game that's been completely customized by you and your group to be your adventuring world that you can go forward and get up to misadventures in.
Very cool. So we know that all of your kind of products that we've talked about last time or alluded to are out. Is there anything you can talk about what's coming down, what's next for Direwolf?
Sure. Next up, after Raiders on the digital gaming front is going to be Yellow and Yangtze.
Okay.
That should hopefully be out by the end of September. And then following that, just here at GenCon, we released gameplay trailers for both digital adaptations of Root and Sagrada, which you can check out over here if you want to take a look at those. We're really excited about how those projects are coming together, and those are on track to be in by the end of the year. So and there's a ton more coming for Eternal and other new board games and other new products that we haven't announced yet. Okay. So there's a lot coming down the pike that we're very excited by, and we really need to get back to work on it.
All right, well, thank you again for the interview, and I'll see you guys at the next one.
All right, thanks.